Yeah. So I'm back again with another video in SSO series, and this time we'll learn JWT. So this is Jitendra from Software Circle, and let's begin our learning today. So what we have in agenda, we'll learn what is JWT, why should we use JWT, then we will see what is JWT structure, how do JWT work, and finally we'll see JWT authentication. So what is JWT? JWT stands for JSON Web Token. JWT is an open standard that defines a compact and self-contained way for securely transmitting information between parties as a JSON object. This information can be verified and trusted because it is digitally signed. JWT can be signed using a secret or a public-private key pair using RSA or ECDSA. JWT can be encrypted to also provide secrecy between parties. We will focus on signed token. Signed tokens can verify the integrity of the claim contained within it, while encrypted token hide those claims from the other parties. The information can be verified and trusted because it is digitally signed. JWT can be signed using a secret or public-private key pair using RSA and ECDSA, as we have seen. JWT is a standard that defines a compact and self-contained way to securely transmit information between a client and a server as a JSON object. The compact size makes the token easy to transfer through the URL, post parameter, or inside in HTTP headers. So next, moving on, when to use JWT. So JWT can be used in authorization. This is the most common scenario for using JWT. Once the user is logged in, each subsequent request will include the JWT token, allowing user to access routes, services, and resources that are permitted with that token. Information exchange is another application or another use case where we can use JWT. JWT are a good way of securely transmitting information between parties because JWT can be signed, for example, using public-private key pair. You can be sure the sender are who they say they are. And then single sign-on is a feature that widely uses JWT nowadays because of its small overhead and its ability to be easily used across different domains. Additionally, as the signature is calculated using the header and the payload, you can also verify that the content has not been tampered with. Now, what is inside the JWT structure? What is the JWT structure? So typically, a JWT contains headers, payload, and signature. Therefore, a JWT typically will look like xx.yy.jz, where xx is the header, the yy is the payload, actual body, and the jz is the signature. The header typically consists of two parts: the type of token, which is JWT, and the signing algorithm being used, such as HMSE or SHA-256 or RSA. Payload, the second part of the token is the payload, which contains the claims. Claims are the statement about an entity, typically the user, and additional data. There are three types of claims: registered, public, and private claims. And finally, the third part is signature in JWT. Signature used to create the signature part. You have to take the encoded header, the encoded payload is secret, the algorithm is specified in the header, and the sign that. Through signature, we verify that whether anything had been changed in the payload or not. Now, in this diagram, we can see the header, payload, and the signature. The header can contains the algorithm and the type. The payload contains the body and the signature. So this is one sample where in JWT, encoded JWT, we can see in the decoded format. So this left hand side is the encoded format and the right hand side is the decoded one. So where we can see it contains header, payload, and signature. Now, how do JWT work? In authentication, when the user successfully logs in using the credentials, a JWT will be returned. Since tokens are credentials, greater care must be taken to prevent security issues. Whenever the user wants to access a protected route or resource, the user agent should send the JWT typically in the authorization header using the bearer schema. It is by delivery of the ID token from the authentication server to the client that the user is able to enjoy SSO experience in the client. In addition, the client can use the access token on the call to the application server user info endpoint in order to receive additional identity attributes beyond those in the ID token. With signed token, the information contained within the token is exposed to users or other parties. Even though they are unable to change it, this means you should not put extra information using the tokens. Now, this is the typical client server request where something is sent in as a get or post headers. Then the user is validated with the username, password, and then the JWT is generated, and this which is returned to the client. And with any subsequent request, JWT is sent as a header to the server, and the server, after verifying the JWT token, returns the response. And finally, the JWT authentication. JWT are mainly used for authentication authorization. As we know, authorization purpose. After a user logs into the application will create a JWT and send it back to the user. Subsequent request by the user will include the JWT. The token tells the server what routes, services, and resources the user is allowed to access. JWT can be easily used across multiple domains so that they often used for single sign-on. So thank you viewers for watching, and if you find this video helpful, do like the video and subscribe the channel, and we'll continue the SSO series. And if you have not watched our previous videos, please go and watch the previous video, and if you find the information helpful, do like the video and subscribe the channel. Thank you so much.